Learning objective 3, achieve a good credit reputation. So what we're done, well, to achieve a good credit reputation, you have to apply for and use credit. So we're going to talk about the credit approval process. The first thing you do is apply for credit. You complete a credit application. Second step is the lender obtains your credit history. They're going to go to the get your credit report, the credit bureau, and they're going to get your score. The scores are very similar. They may be slightly higher or slightly lower, but the scores are going to determine, your credit score is going to determine the interest rate you pay. 620 or higher is considered prime. Anything below that is considered subprime. The 620 or higher is certainly preferred. The likelihood of default of a subprime borrower under the same situation is like 3 times greater. When we're talking about mortgages, subprime borrowers putting down less than 20% are about 10 times more likely to default. So the credit scoring system is highly valued by lenders, and it definitely will impact your borrowing cost. Finally, the lender decides whether they're going to accept your application. They're going to decide under what terms. They're going to be a credit agreement, a promissory note, which is is your promise to repay the loan. And also, lenders charge tiered pricing. This is what we're talking about with regard to your credit score. If you don't have a good credit score, you're going to pay a higher APR or higher interest rate on your debt. Now, unfair credit discrimination is unlawful. That we have the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, or ECOA. Unfair discrimination is legal, but unfair discrimination is illegal. So you can't be discriminated based on your gender, your race, your age, where you live, or your marital status. So credit scores don't have anything to do with these factors, but lenders have historically used, have discriminated, have been penalized for doing so. Next, understand your credit scores. This is how your credit score is made up. 35% of your credit score is your payment history. So we talked about how important making payments on time. If you miss payments, it's going to have a huge impact on your credit score. Amounts owed, 30%. So that's second, but still very important. The length of credit history is also important at 15% of your score. Whether or not you're taking on more debt is 10% of your score. The types of credit used are also 10% of your score. If you borrow from subprime lenders, or you have payday loans, or anything of this nature, credit card debt is also viewed unfavorably. Bank loans and installment loans, mortgages and so forth are viewed much more favorably than are these other types of debt. So building your credit history, you need to establish both a checking and savings account. Have your bills, including your telephone, utility bill, in your name. It's tempting to have your cell phone bill in your parents' name, or if you live with roommates, let them put their names on accounts and so forth. You need your name on these accounts, and you need these these bills to be paid in a timely manner to build your credit history. Next, you want to request or apply for an all-company credit card. You want to use that card. Having a credit card doesn't establish your credit. Using it and paying the balance off establishes your credit. Apply for a bank credit card. Again, use that card, pay it off. Apply for a small bank loan, pay it off. Pay off your student loans. As we mentioned previously, you can access your credit bureau file for free at annualcreditreport.com. This is what I was talking about. You can receive a free credit report every 4 months by obtaining one from each of the 3 credit bureaus on a rotating basis. This is a really good idea. You can you can make sure that your identity hasn't been stolen and somebody taking out loans or so forth in your name, and it does happen. Finally, the Fair Credit Reporting Act allows you to challenge errors in your credit bureau files. You need to challenge these errors immediately with the credit bureau and the lender involved. The Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act allows you to do this and actually outlines how the process will take place. Concept check 6.3. Summarize the basic steps that occur when someone applies for credit. You apply for credit. The lender obtains your credit report and credit scores and a credit bureau file. Then the lender decides whether or not to accept your application and under what terms they will do so. Concept check 6.3. What is a credit history? What role do the credit bureaus play in the development of your credit history? Your credit history is your credit reputation. Determines if you will receive credit. It determines the terms and the pricing. What is a credit score, and what are the 5 major factors in its calculation? The credit score is a measure of your credit reputation. The 5 factors are payment history, amounts owed, length of credit history, taking on more debt. If you are taking on more debt, that's part of this, and the types of credit you and these are listed in order of importance. Payment history is the most important, and amounts owed the second. Length of credit history is third, and taking on more debt and types of credit used are equal. Identify 5 actions you can take to build a good credit reputation. Establish both a checking account and savings account. Have your utility bills and put in your name, your telephone, etc., all cable, whatever bills. These are having these bills in your name and paying them on a timely basis is part of your credit history. Request and require and use an oil company credit card. Identify 5 actions you can take to build good credit reputation. Apply for a bank card. Ask for a small short-term cash loan from a bank. Pay off your student loans. Summarize the protections provided under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Simply, the FCRA allows you to challenge errors in your credit bureau files. It gives you a process for doing so.